Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings for Manchester United's 2-0 win against Leeds at Elland Road. So I'll start with David De Gea. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I thought his distribution was poor at times. De Gea did make some good saves to deny Somerville. And I do recall him making an error in the game that could have been costly. It was David De Gea's 400th Premier League appearance for Manchester United. Moving on to Diego Dalot, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Dalot hit the woodwork in the second half. But to be honest with you, I think Dalot has really struggled since his return from injury. He obviously came off in the game. He was replaced by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Moving on to Harry Maguire, I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10. You know, he was poor. Gave the ball away a few times. Made some errors in the game. I think he did make one good intervention, to be fair. It was Harry Maguire's first Premier League start since January. Harry Maguire was playing alongside Luke Shaw at centre back. I was surprised that Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw were the centre back pairing. Eric Ten Hag explained why Harry Maguire started. You know, Varane and Martinez were dropped. Martinez, though, did come on in the game. Harry Maguire, I can't see him being at Manchester United next season. Revert back towards the end of the January transfer window, Harry Maguire rejected a loan move to Inter Milan to fight for his place at Man United. You know, Inter Milan did inquire about taking Maguire on loan. Maguire's been at Man United since the summer of 2019. Man United overpaid for him, got him in a deal worth 80 million. Moving on to Luke Shaw. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Luke Shaw did get the assist for Marcus Rashford's goal. It was a good cross by Luke Shaw to pick out Rashford in the 6-yard box. But apart from that assist, you know, Luke Shaw didn't really do much. He has played at centre-half in around, 5 games this season. But Luke Shaw's not a centre-half, he's predominantly a left-back. Moving on to Terrell Malaysia. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Moving on to Fred. I'm going to give Fred a 5 out of 10. I don't think he was too good yesterday. I think by Sky Sports, though, he was given player of the match. I thought Fred did look better, though, than the game on Wednesday night at Old Trafford. Fred did receive a yellow card in the game. He's now on 5 yellow cards, so that means he will be suspended for the game against Leicester next weekend. Marcel Sabitzer, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. To be honest with you, I think Sabitzer has made an impact since he come to Man United. Sabitzer should have definitely scored in the game on Wednesday night at Old Trafford. He had around 3 chances. One of them were on target. That game against Leeds at Old Trafford, by the way, was Sabitzer's full debut. Just want to confirm that Sabitzer is suspended for the first leg against Barcelona in the Europa League. So reflecting on that, Ten Hag has got a midfield dilemma ahead of the game against Barcelona in the Europa League first leg. But we do have Sabitzer on loan till the end of the season. No obligation or option to buy. The reason we got Sabitzer on loan was because of Christian Eriksen's injury blow. Moving on to Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I thought it was quite poor, Fernandes. Looked sloppy on the ball. He had a very good chance towards the end of the first half. The chance came from a bad mistake from Vober. But Fernandes was one-on-one with Mayele and Mayele saved it. Fernandes did have another chance in the game that went way wide. Moving on to Marcus Rashford. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Marcus Rashford gave Manchester United the lead in the 80th minute. It was a very good header. Don't forget VAR quickly intervened to check for the possible offside, but Rashford was onside. Rashford now has 21 goals in all competitions this season. Rashford, as you all know, scored on Wednesday night against Leeds at Old Trafford. That was a good header as well. Ten Hag's come out and said that Rashford is one of the best in Europe. By the way, Rashford scored twice against Leeds, but one obviously got ruled out by VAR. But what a season Marcus Rashford is enjoying. This is certainly the best season he's enjoying as a United player. Man United looking to give Rashford a new contract. Towards the end of last year, Man United extended Rashford's contract by 1 year. Not so long ago, Rashford got fined £574. and handed 6 points on his licence for speeding in his 670,000 Mercedes. Move on to Sancho. I'll give Sancho a 4 out of 10. Didn't really do much in the game. I think he had one good opportunity. It was Jadon Sancho's first league start since September or October. Sancho came on Wednesday night at Old Trafford and rescued a point for Man United. He scored the equaliser on his Premier League return after nearly 4 months out. There was a lot of United fans though that said Jadon Sancho obviously should have started on Wednesday night, but he didn't. Obviously, Rashford was on that right-hand side on Wednesday night, and he should not have certainly been on the right-hand side, should have been on the left, because like I've mentioned, he's far superior on the left than he is on the right. Moving on to Weghorst. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. He did get an assist in the game. He had a goal ruled out by VAR. Weghorst has scored 1 goal so far for Manchester United. Man United have got him on loan until the end of the season. Man United brought substitutions on in the game. Garnacho came on, give him a 7 out of 10. He scored Manchester United's second goal. It was a good finish at the near post. Garnacho should have certainly scored on Wednesday night against Leeds at Old Trafford. He had 2 good opportunities in that game. His first chance went wide. Should have at least hit the target. And the other chance, he went round melee, hit it, and it hit the head of Maximilian Wöber. As you all know, Garnacho is close to agreeing a new deal with Man United. Man United are looking to tie Garnacho down to a new contract until 2028, and his wages are set to quadruple, so he's set to earn around £50,000 a week. Garnacho's existing deal runs until 2025. But he looks a very good young asset. He scored a few goals now in the senior team. Scored yesterday. Scored the winner against Fulham at Craven Cottage. Scored his first senior goal in the 1-0 win against Real Sociedad. Lisandro Martinez came on in the game. Going to give him a 7 out of 10 because he did really well when he came on. But like I mentioned earlier, he should have started. Martinez so far has 1 goal for Manchester United, and that came in the 3-2 defeat to Arsenal. Two other players came on in the game as well. We saw Aaron Wan-Bissaka came on. Give him a 5 out of 10. He, of course, missed the game on, was it Wednesday night, due to illness. Man United brought someone else on as well. But anyway, that is your player ratings for Manchester United's 2-0 win against Leeds. It was a scrappy contest at Elland Road. You know, I will give huge credit to Leeds. You know, they started the game on the front foot. Made it difficult for Manchester United. Somerville was definitely player of the match for Leeds. You know, he had like 4 good chances. Somerville is a good young player. He's obviously in the Leeds first team before he was in the under-23s. Luke Ayling had a good chance from an overhead kick in the game. I thought Bamford was quite poor. His touches let him down. You know, Leeds fans have now got reservations about Bamford. Well, he is injury prone, isn't he? Don't forget. But he still does score goals for Leeds. You know, Bamford did get an assist in the game at Old Trafford last Wednesday night. You know, don't forget, Leeds were missing players. You know, they were missing the likes of Luis Sinisterra. He went off injured in the first half on Wednesday night. Pascal Struijk were missing. He went off injured in the first half on Wednesday night. Cooper were missing, but he's not first choice for Leeds. He's not good enough for Leeds, is Cooper. That's one player Leeds need to get rid of. His crossing is not good enough, and that's one of the main reasons he's too inconsistent. Obviously, Dallas missed the game yesterday through injury. He missed the game on Wednesday night, and he's a key player for Leeds. Adam Forshaw has been injured, but, you know, he's not first choice, hasn't been first choice for a while. Mark Rocker's been out with a knock, but, you know, he don't really get in the Leeds team much. Rodrigo, of course, missed both games, and he's certainly a key player for Leeds. So they were missing quite a lot of players. But from a Leeds perspective, I think they'll be delighted. You know, before the 2 games, if you'd have said to a Leeds fan, would you have taken 1 point out of 6? You know, they probably would have said, yeah. But I'll be honest with you, they should have certainly won Wednesday night at Old Trafford because Leeds were 2-0 up, and, you know, Man United came from 2 goals down to rescue a point. You know, that Wilfred Gnonto looks a very good young player. You know, don't forget he scored after just 55 seconds on Wednesday night. It was a good strike, went straight past De Gea. And the second goal was an own goal by Varane. But I thought parts of that game yesterday, Ellen Road, replicated the game at Old Trafford because, like I mentioned, Leeds started the first half well yesterday, and they started the second half well yesterday, and they did the same thing at Old Trafford. But reflecting on the win, you know, it did move Man United second. Obviously now Man United have gone back third because Manchester City beat Aston Villa 3-1 at the Etihad. Man United, as you all know, are missing players. Obviously, no Anthony played yesterday. McTominay played no part. He's out with a knock. He's not one of our first choice centre midfielders anyway. He hasn't been one of our first choice since the arrivals of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. Martial's injured. Well, he's been hampered with injuries this season. Christian Eriksen, he's out with an ankle injury until April or early May. Casemiro, of course, is suspended. He's now got 1 game to serve. Van der Beek, he's out for the rest of the season. But he don't get in the team anyway. So they are the players Man United have got missing. By the way, Leeds are close to appointing former Ajax manager. Can't pronounce his name correctly. Not so long ago, don't forget, Leeds made an approach for Arne Slot from Feyenoord. They went in for Andona Ariolo from Rayo Vallecano, but Rayo Vallecano blocked Leeds' move. There was talks of Bielsa returning, but that's not going to happen. Last Monday, don't forget, Leeds sacked Jesse Marsch after less than a year in charge. But Leeds' expectations this season is to avoid relegation. You know, Leeds have endured a terrible season. They haven't won a league game since they beat Bournemouth 4-3 at Elland Road. Leeds have lost players. You know, like I said, the loan Diego Llorente out. The loan Joe Gelda out to Sunderland. The loan Daniel James out to Fulham. The loan Daniel James out to Fulham. They let Klitsch go last year, but Leeds made the right decision letting him go because he was out of favour. They let Alioski go a few years ago, which I think was a bad mistake. They let Calvin Phillips and Rafinha go. Leeds did get around 80 million for Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. To be fair to Leeds, they did get them adequate replacements. Because Leeds spent around 80 million when they had Jesse Marsch. Phillips went to City from Leeds and Rafinha went to Barcelona from Leeds. So they are players they've let go. And let me put into the equation, Man United have done transfer business with Leeds before. A lot of years ago, got Eric Cantona off them, paid just 1 million. Cantona was good at Leeds. He was also very good when he came in Man United. Got Ferdinand off them a lot of years ago, paid around 30 million. And a lot of years ago, Alan Smith left Leeds to come to Man United. So there you go. But like I've said, Manchester United and Leeds is a huge rivalry. The rivalry's been going on for absolutely centuries. It stems from the War of the Roses. Manchester United have not lost to Leeds at Elland Road since the 2002-03 season. You know, when Harry Kewell scored, it was 1-0 to Leeds. We've not lost to Leeds at Old Trafford in the league since 1981, and overall we haven't lost to Leeds since January 2010. Leeds did knock Man United out the FA Cup 1-0. It was a goal from Jermaine Beckford. But Manchester United's next game is Barcelona in the Europa League first leg. By the way, after the game against Leeds, Eric Ten Hag said we'll fight for this title. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you. Drop your comments, likes on the channel if you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless.